Hello everybody and welcome to another Beyond All Reason video. Today we are on one of my favourite maps, FTL, with Mr. Barcast TV. If you're not sure who he is a YouTuber who does casting content similar to me. Been around for quite a while now, so go check out his channel and say hi. And his opponent is someone I don't think I've ever met, User001. As you can see, this game took place around the Christmas period. That's why they have the little Christmas stuff. Both players today being Armada. So, it'd be interesting to see why they've chosen to go Armada. Barcast starting with a vehicle lab. And it looks like User is doing the same thing. Now, the reason why you can see them building down here as opposed to like up here is, well, your units can get to the front line quicker. Now, some people I've seen on the map build these, walk towards the edge here, and then build their factory down here because it's even further forward, meaning you're able to contest these areas pretty quick. And that is a very strong position. However, your factory is obviously very close to the front line, if not already on the front line. And that makes it a lot harder to defend, especially in the early game. So there's pros and cons to everything. Obviously, having your factory up on the hill is very difficult for it to be attacked. So yeah, it's a decision. But both players deciding to make the same choice here. And we can actually see Barcast kind of doing what I just mentioned. User going for the gap here to plug the hole. Whereas Barcast is actually moving his commander here to get the metal extractors just over the edge of the cliff. This has only been something that's been possible recently because you used to have to build, like, I think it was either the whole square or at least the center of the thing you're building. And now, because when you go to build, all you've got to do is build on the edge, like some part of it, so you can build this, for example, like right there. Even though only the tiny part of it you can get access to, you'd be able to build it without your commander moving, as long as it's inside that green circle. Now, when we look at the map here, Barcast built an LLT in that little gap. That's perfect. It's going to hold down any harass from those 6 metal points that he's got, at least for the foreseeable future. There are geo points on this map at either corner. Don't often see them ever get used because they're just too heavily contested to make it worthwhile. Kind of would have liked to have seen the geos like here instead of not this like whatever angle you want to call that. Just because I feel like if they were here, it would mean that they'd actually get built. You'd have something to fight over, whereas these sides here, no one ever builds them, so they're a bit useless. Middle section here, as you can see, can only be accessed via this ramp, which is why you tend to have fighting go on down here. And then obviously this middle section here is raised and no units can path up there. You need aircraft in order to do that. Both players being pretty passive at the moment, no attacking planned. It does look like Users going in with this single blitz, hoping to get a bit of a payoff. Barcast, however, is building an air lab with the plan of getting some stalks out and about. And surprisingly, Barcast actually reclaiming his vehicle lab with his free construction bots that he has. So Barcast with 0 unit production. And that blitz does not make it past, but Barcast unable to defend these metal extractors from up here. This LLT does do a decent job at defending it, but Barcast will lose those 2 metal extractors. Units are close by though, so it should be fairly easy for him to get that back. Barcast using the air transports now to ferry his constructors over to the middle island here. There is a scout there, though. Barcast going straight to build an LLT first before building anything else. And then going back for the second one, maybe, with this. Nope, nope, that's it. He's done. Going for gunships now, it seems. For a single gunship, though, it's not really going to accomplish too much. Not only that, but User has already known that Barcast has air and has already started building air defense. Barcast sitting on quite a bit of metal at the moment. Now, with this map being very heavy on, well, difficult to make energy because of no wind, it's going to be a little bit difficult for Barcast to... Oh, he needs to use the metal, really. Having it sat there, he's going to need it to be made into energy. Barcast able to get a single metal extractor and a radar so far, but missile trucks are already out, and that gunship's going to die very soon. There we go. Managing to get 2 metal extractors for that single gunship. But if Barcast can keep this up, he's in a good position here to take control of a lot of metal extractors, which are not going to be contested. Double LLT here will be somewhat difficult to push into, although they're in a position where, you know, you can kind of just path around here and miss them all and get all the metal extractors. So... the one gunship is trying to delay these units, and there, literally, as I said, a blitz gets round the LLT, just finds the hole. The gunship's going to get killed now as well, and 3 scouts not going to be enough. Barcast should probably be building an LLT here with this guy, but instead has to run back to the double LLTs there for a little bit of safety. Barcast now finally getting this island here. He's built no defenses on it just yet, though. Meanwhile, User's really, really far forward here, building LLTs up the cliff. Barcast getting some Janices out now. Maybe a little early for Janices, but... you know. And this is a little bit of a macro mistake. This User still not rebuilding these top 2 metal extractors. I mean, that's 2.1. That's 4 metal a second he's missing out on right now. And he could use it. There's actually energy problems at the moment, but still. Barcast pushing some tanks up the hill here. This will deal with the blitzes fairly easily. Although, to be honest, they're having trouble hitting it. Will this finally run into an LLT? No. Barcast, why can't you just build the LLTs here? Why build them in the middle here? They're not saving anything. That's so frustrating. Oh, what's he moving? Barcast moving a standard artillery up onto the hill. Pretty smart move there. He's going to be able to like slowly whittle down everything around it. He's got to force User to actually put something up there other than just LLTs. What Barcast could probably do with right now is vision. He has no bloomin' radar. Nothing up here. How does he have no radar yet? He's not built a single radar. Bit of a push going on here into User's area. That's not really going to accomplish too much. Tanks don't even get a single metal extractor. Meanwhile, User's just slowly pushing forward here with his commander. And look how close he is to the base. Barcast still without a single radar. Has he forgot they exist? Like, this should not be happening. This artillery just taking damage for free there. I don't know what he's doing. Barcast's losing a lot of stuff everywhere at this point. Getting a little bit of damage done at the bottom there, but Barcast's middle section has been completely isolated. A lot of Reclaim going to User. The tank's finally coming back. User gets a D-gun off there on the Janus on the top of the hill. But Barcast's biggest problem is no radar. Finally building a radar. User with some, well, a good D-gun. User at 37% health. Bit of a dangerous position to be in. User should probably fall back at that point. 34% health. He's doing a good job of slowly clearing up a bit of the expansion of Barcast. Barcast was in a very strong position, having a lot of the metal extractors on the map, but just not having a radar, simple building, forgetting to build, has cost him massively. And these 3 tanks are going to cause him problems. The single LLT will not be enough to stop that many tanks. Which is why he's desperately trying to rush here to reclaim them. Luckily enough, he does have some tanks nearby, but not enough that's going to stop that. Very quickly looking over here, User amassing some gunships, currently with 5 of them. Yeah, a lot of Banshees now. Barcast trying to apply some pressure now on that side that he was losing a lot on. User's comm here being completely idle. A little bit of a mistake there, it seems. Barcast with his commander now pushing out to try and recap some of that stuff. Still losing the area on the top of the hill. Barcast trying to apply some pressure through the middle, but 2 tanks is not going to be enough to cut it, just being a donation of metal otherwise. And the Janus managing to take 2 tanks out of a single hit. Will get a second volley off, but it will not be enough to save the day. And User's commander getting pushed off even more now. The shell shocker here just going to be enough to be a proper annoyance for a while. These 3 tanks just going at it, not really accomplishing anything. Barcast commander cloaked, you got the D-gun and misses. Now finally kills them. But 14 gunships ready to go. See how much damage they're able to inflict. The entire up section is going to be destroyed. Barcast not reacting, not building anything up here, any air defense. Building some air defense in his base as quick as he can. Barcast commander in a dangerous position though. Nothing to decloak him, luckily enough, and no radar as we select User right now. He doesn't know the commander is there. User spreading out these gunships though, meaning that they're inflicting damage in a wide area, but could they have done more if they focused on one spot? We saw in, the previous video how well gunships can do if you focus them down. He had a large enough number that he could have focused down all of this build power here and stopped any of those air defenses being built. Barcast commander may be visible here. It is, but Barcast Commander had plenty of time to build all of those air defenses. And the commander comes out fine after all. Enough air defenses to take those gunships down quickly. And with that, the gunships that are left, all 3 of them return home. 4 of them. Now at the 14-minute mark, 15-minute mark, neither player transitioning over to Tech 2 just yet. Won't surprise me if we start seeing that soon. And it does look like both players kind of happy to just sit back and wait for a bit as mines being built by both players in different positions. Barcast getting construction vehicles back up onto this top section here. And User has not done anything to stop that yet or moved anything there his own. He does have air transports, he could do that, but choosing not to at the moment. Barcast finally reclaiming that air lab. What will he put that metal into instead? And Barcast, rather than sending construction vehicles to reclaim that, it looks like he's just airdropping around a construction turret to just eat up as much as it can, as quick as it can, and then he's just going to move it. Interesting choice. The blitz push looks like it's going for the commander's last known position. Because a lot of them were caught on the mines, and Barcast Com in a perfect position to degun all of them. User wasn't sure where his com was, thought it was in the same location, and it wasn't. And all of those blitzes get destroyed. Barcast's great aiming on that degun. And with that, we're going to speed up a little bit now. Not too much happening, so I don't want to keep you guys waiting for ages. User actually transporting the com up into the high ground. This is going to keep the commander safe for a while at least. These missile trucks of Barcast is going to be a bit of an annoyance. Barcast now also transitioning over to Tech 2. Potentially dangerous situation here. These guys actually get cut off, but the dangerous situation I'm talking about is up on that hill. User's commander is kind of trapped up there with several Janices. No air transports left. You can see here, starting to push in a little bit. 2 Janices, 3 Stouts. Oh, but Barcast not paying attention and User managing to degun all of them. That was played correctly. That could have been massive, massive problems for User. But luckily for User, that was not the case. Barcast concentrating elsewhere. And at the moment, he's got a bit of a bottleneck back here, and he can't get any of these Stouts out. Surprised he's reclaimed that and not this nettle. He could have reclaimed this nettle, and then the stuff could have moved through there. But still. Priorities. But even with that great early attack of User, he's fallen behind a bit now. And you can see metal per second is quite drastically on Barcast's favor. Metal produced and energy produced is, again, more favorable towards Barcast. Interestingly enough, Gremlins, don't often see those. Now, they are stealth tanks, so they're cloaky and invisible to radar. The only way you can see them is by building a counter-intrusion system. And all that does is it kind of like blinks on the map where the detected thing is, which is... I'm trying to remember what it looks like because I haven't built one in a while. This one here. So in that area of effect, which on this map is quite a lot to be honest, detects cloaky units and kind of gives you a visual indicator as to where they are. Now from Barcast's perspective here, he is in a very, very strong position. He is completely blocking his opponent in. User has retaken the high ground, but still Barcast is pushing along this northern flank. It seems like User may be hunting for Barcast's commander. Being very careful with these guys. These are a one-trick pony. They don't do a massive amount of damage, so I don't quite know what his plan is here. Another 5 on their way. Bear in mind, all the time while he's building these, he is losing ground. Proxy factory, Tech 1 proxy factory also being built here by Barcast along the bottom. That's going to be able to apply a lot of pressure. If he builds like these shell shockers here, he can probably just sit these like here and bomb User's base without any worries. Also, these defenses aren't going to work for much longer. User completely APM stalled by the looks of it. Building nothing whatsoever. I think he thinks it's game over. Is he going for one last hope and glory? Building Jaguars here. They will do a fairly decent job. Has he seen the commander? There's a fusion. There you go. He spotted the commander. Meanwhile, he is losing ground in his base. Mausers are just slowly causing problems. Looks like he is going for the commander. At the end of the day, commander's the only thing that matters. User surrounding Barcast commander here with the cloaky tanks. And the tanks are spotted. Wow, look how quickly Barcast died. And that's over. User. Wow, I mean, that is
battle ended.
Crazy. It just shows that even if you're losing, you can still win with a very, very cheesy strat. And User managing to use those cloaky tanks, managing to get through Barcast's front line and killing the commander to end the game. I mean, if he wouldn't have done that, he would have lost. So, fair play to him. I hope you all liked that cheesy match. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time.